Good morning, everyone. It's a happy, lazy Sunday. Nope, not gonna do much today. I've been too lazy. I need to make a list on what to all get together. I already talked to my son-in-laws, or rather my daughters, to tell my son-in-laws. I need a couple of trucks here, and I'm moving up there this time. All right, all right. Gosh. Spring here is in full swing. The chickens are trying to hide their eggs now because they want to sit on it, right? Yeah. Chickens have their own language, and you can tell when they've laid an egg. And somewhere, and then you have to just kind of, okay, where did the chicken come from? Because they don't start cackling right where they laid the egg. They try to confuse you. And the roosters are so funny. When one of them has laid an egg and starts cackling, if they're close by, they start doing the same thing. Proud parents. Not yet, but somehow they know. Interesting critters chickens are, I have to say. And we have a couple of roosters, younger ones, and they have a lot of game in them. You can game chickens, and they're often used for fighting. It's one of those things. But they actually do this naturally. And ours right now seem to be at a stage where they're constantly at each other's throats. And I've had in the past one of them kill another one. I mean, you'd have to be around them 24/7 for that to not happen. And here they really, I mean, you talk about free range chickens. They go roam our woods together. Anyway, so there is that all going on. But otherwise, it's everything's just awakening. It's amazing. And our peach trees are loaded with peaches this time. And I'm hoping this just might work this year. I don't think there's another big frost coming or anything, so let's keep our fingers crossed. Anyway, so there it is. What else? My seeds are coming up, which is great. And everything's just, it's like the plants are just exploding everywhere. So wonderful. Anyway, so there is that. And otherwise, I don't really have anything to tell. I think Spirit World kind of, she's had enough visitors. Let's give her a day of rest. So Sissy and I, yesterday, we didn't really do much. Just relaxed. My sister-in-law loves to read. She reads a lot of books still. I read a lot of subtitles, so okay. Oh, so I was watching this Korean drama yesterday, and it's a good one. It's a really heartfelt one, Yes, and here I'm watching, and it's today is going to be the last episode, so I'm hoping that everybody's who needs to get to just dessert. Okay, I'm just saying, in the appropriate way. And I'm looking yesterday, and I'm going, who was that? And there was a guy that was pulling out something out of a furnace, and I'm looking, I'm going, that's my friend Roy. Lives in Korea. My sister in faith, Nancy's husband. And I'm looking, and I'm going, was that really him? And I went back, right? I rewound it just a little bit, and I'm looking. That has to be Roy. That looks just like Roy. And every once in a while, they are actually in a short clip or something, in a drama or something like that. And I mean, immediately, first of all, I'm going, I can't believe I just saw Roy. And it was such a happy moment in a way. You see one of your friends that you know in a, like, okay, I have to read subtitles in order to understand anything, does it? And he was, hey! And our children grew up with each other, so we know each other really, really well from our time in California. And I went in Messenger and I said, hey, Roy, are you in this particular drama? And you're doing this. I saw a guy and he looks just like you. Now doing this. And he comes back and says, yeah, that was me. Love it. It's like, this is just, all right. Done. Anyway, what a wonderful moment. It was just one of those things. To me, it is just one of those things. All right. We are in the second book of Chronicles.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the barn.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the barn, all right?
Okay. Cece's going to the barn. Remember to put that comfrey on okay. I think you don't have to do anything else. Just put that on before, and make him go out today, okay?
Yeah, I'll make him go out.
Okay.
They are not getting hay in the morning, right?
I'm not giving them any more. They're not. I'll just give them a little bit more for the evening, you know? Okay. I'm a little more, how do you say? I give them a little more in the evening if they didn't get enough out there, but they're not really eating it anymore, so. Working together. I love it. Ooh. Well, if she goes to the barn, then I'm going to cook something yummy today for us. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Okay, so we're in the second book of Chronicles, 26. Uzziah reigns in Judah. Now all the people of Judah took Uzziah. Okay, hang on a second. I just got to think. Okay, what else is there? The comfrey. It's okay as long as she does the comfrey. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now all the people of Judah took Uzziah, who was 16 years old, and made him king instead of his father Amaziah. Well, instead, Amaziah is dead already. 16 years old, a teenager as king, right? Okay. All right, I think we're getting, you see, from having a king, that people said, oh, God chose that king, right? Now the people are veering off to just having a king, right? That a 16-year-old is not qualified to be king, right? Just because. Neither is an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old, right? Yes? You see what's happening here? Yeah, isn't it interesting on how things progress even more to a undesirable situation, right, when one veers off from God's guidance? Right? It escalates. Right? Things escalate. Right? Yeah. Well, anyway. See what they're going to make up about him. He built a lot and restored it to Judah. He built a lot and restored it to Judah after the king rested with his fathers. Oh, did they put him... Did they put him on the throne before his father died? Kind of suggests that, because Amaziah fled to Lachish. I don't know. Uzziah was 16 years old when he became king, and he reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. Whoa! His mother's name was Jecholiah of Jerusalem. And he did what was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father Amaziah had done. But I thought, all right, you got me there. He sought God in the days of Zechariah, who had understanding in the visions of God, and as long as he sought the Lord, God made him prosper. Okay. Zechariah's dead too, though. Who was guiding him, actually, in all this? It's too bad they don't say that. Now he went out and made war against the Philistines and broke down the wall of Gath. Why are they talking? Okay, so how old was he when he did that? Because, as I said, there's no way a 16-year-old can reign a country. So, who was behind him? Again, and they're making it sound like it was him who did that, yet he was doing things all according to God's guidance, which then would mean to me, no, he wouldn't be doing that. And broke down the wall of Gath, the wall of Jabneh, and the wall of Ashdod, and he built cities around Ashdod and among the Philistines. Oh. God helped him against the Philistines, against the Arabians who lived in Gur Baal, and against the Meunites. Also the Ammonites brought tribute to Uzziah. His fame spread as far as the entrance of Egypt, for he became exceedingly strong. And Uzziah built towers in Jerusalem, and the corner gate, at the valley gate, and at the corner buttress of the wall. Then he fortified them. All right, so one thing that I'm hearing out of this is that Uzziah seems to, or at least the people who are guiding him, and then under God's guidance, that he cares about his people. It looks like Uzziah very much cares about the safety of the people. That's always going to get people on your side, right? Yes? In a way. I mean, that is kind of what it is. People feel safer. Also, he built towers in the desert. He dug many wells, for he had much livestock. Both in the lowlands and in the plains. He also had farmers and vine dressers in the mountains and in Carmel, for he loved the soil. Now how did he get to love the soil? He must have grown up in... How did he grow up? Now that would be interesting to know. I'm liking this Uzziah, as I said, if... Moreover, Uzziah had an army of fighting men who went out to war by companies, according to the number on the roll as prepared by Jael, the scribe, and Maaseiah, the officer, under the hand of Hananiah, one of the king's captains. So we're getting to hear some of the people that... The total number of chief officers of the mighty men of valor was 2,600. I'm always talking about these armies. And under their authority was an army of 307,500 that made war with mighty power to help the king against the enemy. Okay. Then Uzziah prepared for them, for the entire army, shields, spears, helmets, body armor, bows, and slings to cast stones. And he made devices in Jerusalem, invented by skillful men, to be on the towers and the corners, to shoot arrows and large stones. So his fame spread far and wide, for he was marvelously helped till he became strong. Here it comes. The penalty for Uzziah's pride. But when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction. For he transgressed against the Lord his God by entering the temple of the Lord to burn incense on the altar of incense. Doesn't sound like God would not like that. It sounds like, who didn't like that? So Azariah the priest went in after him, and with him were 80 priests of the Lord, valiant men. And they withstood King Uzziah and said to him, It is not for you, Uzziah, to burn incense to the Lord, but for the priests, the sons of Aaron, who are consecrated to burn incense. Get out of the sanctuary, for you have trespassed. You shall have no honor from the Lord God. Where is this going? You know what? You know what this sounds to me like? Jealousy, right? Yes? Why couldn't Uzziah go in there in the temple and himself do that? Why not? Oh, because, no, don't give me that. Why not? If God's so powerful among the Israelites, it's not, if he didn't like that, he'll just strike him down with something again, right? Yes? God's not like that, is he? I would say that probably God was very, very pleased by that action, right? Yes? And who wasn't? Isn't it so difficult? Is it so hard for people to just work together? These priests could have just said, let us guide you in there, okay? While we're doing that. So that, no, we're doing it according to, okay, whatever, right? But here you go. Then Uzziah became furious, and he had a censer in his hand to burn incense. And while he was angry with the priests, leprosy broke out on his forehead. No, I do not believe that. Before the priests in the house of the Lord, beside the incense altar. And Azariah, the chief priest, and all the priests looked at him, and there on his forehead he was leprous. So they thrust him out of that place. Indeed, he also hurried to get out, because the Lord had struck him. King Uzziah was a leper until the day of his death. He dwelt in an isolated house because he was a leper, for he was cut off from the house of the Lord. Then Jotham, his son, was over the king's house, judging the people of the land. Now the rest of the acts of Uzziah, from the first to last, the prophet Isaiah, the son of Amoz, wrote. So Uzziah rested with his fathers, and they buried him with his fathers in a field of burial, which belonged to the kings, for they said he's a leper. Then Jotham, his son, reigned in his place. Wow, what a sad. That's... told her that was really sad. Tell me about it. I have no doubt there was so much more going on there, and there's no way that leprosy just appears like that. Right? We know that. Yeah. There's one thing that I know is that God never goes against the principles of creation or in the way that things are set up. There is no instant. Okay, I'm just saying. I don't even want to talk about it. It's this. It started out so good in a way. I'm going, oh, okay. There seems to be some unity going on there between God's guidance and then the people advising him, right? Yes, yeah. And he seemed to have had good guidance. And he made some good decisions. Okay, are really all good decisions? I don't know. War is never a good decision, but he again, just like another king we talked about that I kind of admired for that, is to strengthen the safety of the people, right? Yes, that's not going out to war, making war, okay, but to fortify the cities, to put out watchtowers, this and that, and immediately, if you can't sneak up on people, right, makes it much more difficult to surprise them and to do what? Okay, just saying. Anyway, so, and then somehow, it sounds to me like Uzziah did develop, through all that, a relationship with God, right? Yes? Of course, I always have to remember on how they grew up, what their examples were, right? And so, of course, and then the people who, besides now Uzziah, who's a young guy, young teenager, gets on the throne, and who the people are next to him, and what their what's their purpose for whatever they're telling him, teaching him, and okay, for their own gain, okay. But seems like he had some good guidance, right? Yes, I don't know. Did his mom have something to do with it? That would be Okay, so there is that. We don't know. It doesn't say. All we can do is, okay, from the story, what do we gain from the story? What do we glean from the story? And it sounds to me like Uzziah, in a way, probably one of the first kings after a long time, really developed somehow an understanding of God, right? Yes, and wanted to go, right, to the temple, that place, the house of God at that time, that, as it was, and offer, right, offer whatever himself, and and that was what, not accepted by the priests. I don't think that God ever anywhere so far what we've read said that he was exclusively right, just there to communicate with the Levites, the priests. Right? They make it sound like it, but I not found anything where that actually, where I felt that was true. So I think too that by Uzziah doing that directly himself, right, wouldn't that again be something that would encourage the people to do what? To be guided by just God? Because their king is the example to them, right? And what did the priests do? What kind of message is that going to give to the people again? Right? Was he really a leper? Or because people got jealous, this snap around him, because he seemed to have a unique relationship with God? Did they make him a prisoner? Did he really have leprosy? Just asking. All right, so here we are. Another one done. It's interesting, the give and take I've had with some people this morning. I asked questions. So you're saying this. Did the leader of your group say that? Is that something that the leader of your group said to you? And so far, with the 3 or 4 that I've asked the questions, haven't answered back. I think it's important to know when you're talking to people and they're giving you some information or something, to find out where it came from. Is this just from you? Is this your own opinion, your own way of on how you found out about this, and it resonates with your heart to mind? Or is it coming from somewhere else and you're just being told and you are regurgitating, right? I have to say, in the way that I'm reading the Bible here, right, with the studying otherwise that I've done, right, and reading this and what affected my heart to mind when it comes to all that, and I am guided by, right, a heavenly parent and God, heavenly parent and spirit world. A lot of it is just me. It's not. Oh, people were to come by and say, "Well, who said that? Who did you get that from? Someone? No, most of it just is my own way of thinking, my own way of processing things, and under the guidance again from heavenly parent and spirit world, good spirit world. I believe that. So, yes, no, most of it just like springs, has sprung from my own self. I'm going to finish up with this one. Spirit world laughing. I so often get the response back amongst them in a way that is so her. Yep, that is her. And they chuckle and they laugh and they're are joyful. Okay, that's how I get it. So there was this comic, and there's a couple of angels farther back on the clouds, and there is two other angels, and they're standing there like this with their heads kind of bowed, looking at their hands, kind of close together, but not too close. And the other two angels in the back said, "Yeah, it's always the same with the new arrivals. They don't know how to have a conversation with each other." And I immediately, I looked at that, and immediately I thought, well, that ain't gonna happen to me, right? I will have a list of questions. Number one, okay. A search list of people, right? Yes, I gotta go see that one. Yeah? Where do I go? Where do I start, right? And I've no doubt, Spirit World. Once I go to Spirit World, they're all gonna be ready, going, man, she's coming. Yeah, she's coming. To do what? I believe that when I go to Spirit World will become even brighter. Why not? Hmm? Yes. That's when you lay doubt aside. That's when you really truly trust your heart to mind. Guided again by who? And again, too, the meaning of death just becomes something different. And we'll talk about that another time. God's some blessings always. Huh? Yes. May He protect you. And I will talk to you all another time.